Last Saturday at my daughter Jessica's wedding reception, she stood up during her maid of honor speech and publicly apologized to all the guests for her father being too cheap to pay for a proper wedding venue, explaining that she had always been embarrassed by my frugal lifestyle and my insistence on buying generic groceries, driving used cars, and living in our modest home instead of upgrading to the lifestyle our family income could afford. What Jessica didn't know as she delivered her humiliating speech about my supposed stinginess was that I had been secretly depositing money into a special investment account for 24 years, building a college fund that had grown to over $2 million, which I was planning to surprise her with as her wedding gift, along with the revelation that every penny I had saved on generic groceries and used cars had been invested in her future education and financial security. I'm Robert Mitchell. I'm 52 years old, and this is the story of how my daughter's public embarrassment about my frugal lifestyle led to the most shocking wedding gift revelation that left everyone speechless and taught her the true meaning of financial sacrifice and long-term planning. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and let us know where you're listening in the comments. The foundation of this story begins 24 years ago when Jessica was born and my wife Linda, and I made the conscious decision that we would prioritize our daughter's future education and financial security over immediate lifestyle upgrades and material possessions that would provide temporary satisfaction, but wouldn't contribute to her long-term success and opportunities. Linda and I were both working professionals in our late 20s, with me employed as a software engineer at a technology company in Austin, Texas, and Linda working as a registered nurse at the local hospital, providing us with a combined household income that was comfortable but not extravagant by Austin standards. When Jessica was born, we made the decision that instead of upgrading our lifestyle to match our growing income, we would maintain our current standard of living and invest the difference in a combination of college savings accounts, mutual funds, and conservative investment portfolios that would compound over time and provide Jessica with educational opportunities that might otherwise be financially challenging. Our approach to saving for Jessica's future meant making daily choices that prioritized long-term financial goals over short-term lifestyle improvements, including shopping for generic groceries instead of name brands, driving reliable used cars instead of new vehicles, and staying in our modest 3-bedroom starter home instead of upgrading to a larger house in a more affluent neighborhood. Linda was completely supportive of our saving strategy and understood that the temporary sacrifices we were making in terms of lifestyle choices would ultimately provide Jessica with advantages and opportunities that would far exceed the value of the material comforts we were postponing or avoiding altogether. The grocery shopping routine that would later become a source of embarrassment for Jessica was actually a carefully calculated strategy to maximize our savings rate, while still providing nutritious and satisfying meals for our family, with detailed comparisons of name, brand versus generic products to ensure we weren't sacrificing quality for savings. Every week, Linda and I would plan our meals around store sales and generic alternatives, often saving 30 to 40% on our grocery bills compared to families who purchased name brand products, without considering the cumulative financial impact of those choices over time. The money we saved on groceries, typically $100 to $150 per month, was immediately transferred to Jessica's investment accounts, where it was allocated across diversified portfolios designed to maximize growth while managing risk over the long-term investment horizon we had established. Our used car strategy followed similar principles, with extensive research into reliable models with good maintenance records and low depreciation rates, allowing us to purchase quality transportation without the substantial financial impact of new car purchases and the associated insurance and financing costs. When Jessica was 5 years old, our friends and neighbors began upgrading to larger homes and newer cars, and Linda and I faced increasing social pressure to follow similar patterns of lifestyle inflation that would demonstrate our financial success and provide Jessica with the material advantages that her peers were enjoying. However, we remained committed to our saving strategy and our belief that the financial security we were building for Jessica's future was more valuable than the temporary social status that would come from lifestyle upgrades that would reduce our ability to invest in her long-term opportunities. Jessica's childhood was comfortable and happy, with regular family vacations, participation in extracurricular activities, and access to educational resources and experiences that enriched her development, but always within the framework of our disciplined approach to spending and saving that prioritized her future over immediate gratification. During Jessica's elementary school years, she occasionally asked questions about why we shopped for generic groceries when her friends' families purchased name-brand products, and Linda and I explained that we preferred to save money for more important things without revealing the specific details of our college savings strategy. Jessica seemed to accept our explanations during her younger years, and she appeared to understand that our family valued financial responsibility and long-term planning over impulsive spending and lifestyle displays that might impress others, but wouldn't contribute to our family's long-term security and opportunities. As Jessica entered middle school and became more aware of social status and material differences between families, she began expressing frustration about our modest lifestyle and our continued commitment to frugal choices that she perceived as embarrassing compared to her friends' families, who displayed their wealth through expensive cars, larger homes, and premium products. Jessica's complaints about our grocery shopping habits intensified during her teenage years, with frequent arguments about the embarrassment she felt when friends visited our home and saw generic products in our pantry and refrigerator, which she believed reflected poorly on our family's status and financial success. Linda and I attempted to explain that our financial choices were intentional and strategic, designed to build long-term wealth and security, rather than to create short-term impressions or satisfy immediate desires for status symbols and luxury items that would depreciate in value and consume resources that could be invested more productively. Jessica's frustration with our lifestyle choices reached a peak during her junior year of high school, when she began comparing our modest 3-bedroom home to the larger houses where her friends lived, and our 10-year-old Honda Civic to the newer cars that other parents drove when picking up their children from school activities. The conflict over our lifestyle choices created tension in our family relationships, with Jessica expressing resentment about what she perceived as our unnecessary cheapness and our failure to provide her with the material advantages that she believed we could afford based on our professional jobs and apparent financial stability. Linda and I maintained our commitment to our savings strategy, while trying to help Jessica understand that our financial choices were motivated by love and concern for her future, rather than by stinginess or indifference to her happiness and social acceptance among her peer group. During Jessica's senior year of high school, the discussion about college financing became more prominent, and Linda and I were careful to avoid revealing the full extent of the savings we had accumulated, instead encouraging Jessica to apply for scholarships and to consider the financial implications of different college choices. Jessica's college application process included both in-state and out-of-state universities, with a range of tuition costs and program offerings, and we encouraged her to make decisions based on academic fit and career preparation, rather than exclusively on financial considerations that she wasn't fully aware of at the time. When Jessica was accepted to several universities, including some expensive out-of-state options that would have required substantial financial resources, Linda and I were prepared to support her choice, while continuing to maintain the appearance that college costs would require careful financial planning and possibly some borrowing. Jessica ultimately chose to attend the University of Texas at Austin, which provided excellent academic programs at in-state tuition rates, and we were able to support her education while continuing to add to her investment accounts with the money we saved by avoiding the higher costs of out-of-state tuition. Throughout Jessica's college years, we continued our frugal lifestyle and disciplined savings approach, with the additional motivation of building resources that could support her post-graduation goals, whether that involved graduate school, starting a business, or purchasing a home when she was ready to establish her own household. Jessica's college experience was positive and successful, with strong academic performance and involvement in extracurricular activities that prepared her for her career in marketing and communications, though she continued to express occasional embarrassment about our modest lifestyle when friends visited during school breaks. After graduating from college, Jessica found employment with a marketing firm in Dallas and began building her career and her own financial independence, though she continued to live with us for several months while saving money for her own apartment and adjusting to full-time employment responsibilities. During this transition period, Jessica's criticism of our lifestyle choices became more direct and frequent, with comments about our failure to upgrade our home and cars, despite our apparent financial ability to afford improvements that would enhance our quality of life and social status in the community. Jessica's relationship with her boyfriend David developed during her final year of college and continued to strengthen after graduation, with discussions about marriage and future plans that included both career goals and lifestyle aspirations that reflected their shared values about financial success and material comfort. When Jessica and David announced their engagement 18 months ago, they began planning a wedding that reflected their preferences for a celebration that would impress their friends and family, while staying within a budget that required contributions from both sets of parents and careful coordination of expenses and priorities. Linda and I offered to contribute a specific amount toward the wedding expenses, an amount that Jessica and David considered reasonable but not particularly generous given their perception of our income level and our apparent ability to provide more substantial financial support for their celebration. Jessica's frustration with our contribution level led to several conversations about our financial priorities and our continued commitment to frugal choices that she believed were unnecessary and inappropriate given our professional success and our apparent financial stability over the years. The wedding planning process revealed the extent of Jessica's embarrassment about our lifestyle, with concerns about how our modest car and clothing choices would appear to David's family and their wedding guests, who came from families with more obvious displays of wealth and status. Jessica's comments about our lifestyle became increasingly critical and hurtful, with suggestions that our cheapness was socially embarrassing and that our failure to upgrade our material possessions reflected poorly on her and created awkward situations when she had to explain our choices to friends and extended family members. The final confrontation about our lifestyle occurred 3 weeks before the wedding, when Jessica visited our home with David to finalize some wedding arrangements and became upset about the appearance of our kitchen and living room, which she felt were inadequate for hosting David's parents and other wedding-related gatherings. Jessica's criticism of our home and lifestyle reached a level of harshness and disrespect that was painful for Linda and me to hear, with accusations that our stinginess had been a source of embarrassment throughout her life, and that our refusal to spend money on improvements and upgrades had negatively impacted her social relationships and self-esteem. Linda and I decided that Jessica's wedding day would be the appropriate time to reveal the financial sacrifice and planning we had undertaken for her benefit, with the presentation of her college fund and investment accounts serving as both a wedding gift and an education about the true meaning of financial responsibility and long-term planning. The wedding day arrived with beautiful weather and a lovely ceremony at a local venue that Jessica and David had chosen as a compromise between their preferences and their budget constraints, with approximately 150 guests including family members, friends, and professional colleagues from both sides of the family. The reception included dinner, dancing, and the traditional speeches from the wedding party and family members, with Jessica serving as her own maid of honor due to her preference for speaking on her own behalf rather than having a friend represent her during the celebration. Jessica's speech began with thanks to the guests for attending and appreciation for the support and love that had contributed to her relationship with David and their decision to marry, but quickly transitioned into commentary about her family background and the challenges she had faced growing up with parents who prioritized saving money over providing the lifestyle advantages that other families enjoyed. "I want to thank everyone for being here today to celebrate David and me," Jessica began, "and I especially want to apologize to David's family and our friends for the modest venue and simple reception, because my father has always been too cheap to pay for anything nice, and I've learned to make the best of situations when money is tight." Jessica's speech continued with increasingly pointed criticism of our lifestyle choices and financial priorities, with specific references to our grocery shopping habits, our used cars, and our refusal to upgrade our home or purchase luxury items that would have enhanced her childhood experience and social status among her peers. Growing up, I was always embarrassed when friends came over and saw that we bought generic cereals and store-brand products instead of the name brands that everyone else had, Jessica explained to the wedding guests. And I learned early that my dad would rather save a few dollars on groceries than provide his family with the quality products and lifestyle that our income should have allowed. The audience's reaction to Jessica's speech was uncomfortable and awkward, with guests exchanging glances and uncertain responses to her public criticism of her father's financial choices and her apparent resentment about our family's approach to spending and lifestyle decisions. David appeared surprised and embarrassed by the direction of Jessica's speech, as this level of public criticism of her parents was unexpected and inappropriate for a wedding celebration that should have focused on gratitude and positive family relationships, rather than airing grievances about childhood disappointments. Linda was visibly upset by Jessica's public humiliation of our family's choices and values, and I realized that this was the perfect moment to reveal the true story behind our financial decisions and the sacrifice we had made to build Jessica's future security and opportunities. I asked the DJ to pause the music and requested the microphone, announcing that I had a special wedding gift for Jessica that would require some explanation and context for the guests to understand the significance of what I was about to share with everyone. "Jessica, I've listened to your speech about our family's financial choices," I began, "and I think it's time for you and everyone here to understand the real story behind the generic groceries and the used cars and the modest lifestyle that has been such a source of embarrassment for you. The wedding guests became quiet and attentive as they realized that something significant was about to be revealed, and Jessica's expression changed from confident criticism to uncertainty about what information I was planning to share in front of all her friends and family members. 24 years ago, when you were born, your mother and I made a decision that we would prioritize your future over our present comfort, I explained. And every dollar we saved on generic groceries and used cars and home improvements was invested in building your financial security and educational opportunities. I continued by explaining our saving strategy and our commitment to living below our means in order to maximize the resources available for Jessica's long-term benefit, with detailed information about the discipline and sacrifice required to maintain our approach over more than 2 decades. The generic cereals that embarrassed you so much saved us approximately $150 per month, I told the wedding guests. And that money, invested consistently over 24 years with compound returns, has grown into something much more significant than the name-brand products you wished we had purchased. Jessica's expression changed from uncertainty to confusion and growing awareness that my speech was leading toward a revelation that would completely change her understanding of our family's financial situation and the motivation behind our lifestyle choices. The college fund that we built through our cheap lifestyle choices has grown to over $2 million, I announced. And that money is now yours, along with the investment accounts and savings that we accumulated by choosing long-term financial security over short-term status symbols and luxury purchases. The wedding guests' reaction was immediate and dramatic, with gasps of surprise and applause as they realized the magnitude of the financial gift and the extent of the sacrifice that Linda and I had made over Jessica's entire lifetime to build her wealth and security. Jessica's face went completely pale as she processed the information, realizing that her public criticism of our financial choices had been based on a complete misunderstanding of our priorities and our commitment to her welfare and future success. David appeared shocked and amazed by the revelation, as he understood that his new wife had just inherited substantial wealth that would transform their financial situation and their options for the future, including home purchases, career choices, and family planning decisions. Every generic product we bought, every used car we drove, every home improvement we postponed was an investment in your future, I continued. And the $2 million you've just inherited is the result of 24 years of choosing your financial security over our immediate comfort and social status. Jessica's emotional response was immediate and overwhelming, with tears of shock, gratitude, and embarrassment as she realized the magnitude of her misunderstanding and the hurtfulness of her public criticism of the parents who had sacrificed their own lifestyle preferences to build her wealth. The wedding guests were clearly moved by the revelation and the demonstration of parental love and sacrifice, with many people wiping away tears as they understood the true story behind our family's modest lifestyle and financial choices over the years. Jessica's apology was heartfelt and emotional, with acknowledgement of her ingratitude and her failure to understand the motivation behind our financial decisions, and her appreciation for the incredible gift we had given her through our years of disciplined saving and investment. The remainder of the wedding reception was transformed from an awkward celebration marked by inappropriate criticism into a genuine celebration of family love, sacrifice, and the rewards of long-term financial planning and commitment to future generations. David's family was impressed and moved by the story of our financial sacrifice and the magnitude of the gift we had presented to Jessica. With expressions of respect for our dedication and our success in building substantial wealth through disciplined saving and investment strategies. The wedding guests spent the rest of the evening discussing the revelation and expressing admiration for our approach to financial planning and our commitment to Jessica's future, with many parents asking questions about our investment strategies and our methods for maintaining discipline over such a long period. Jessica and David's honeymoon was enhanced by their new understanding of their financial situation and the opportunities that were now available to them, including the possibility of purchasing a home without mortgage concerns and making career choices based on personal fulfillment rather than exclusively on salary considerations. The aftermath of the wedding revelation included extensive conversations between Jessica and Linda and me about financial planning, investment strategies, and the importance of long-term thinking about wealth building and family financial security for future generations. Jessica's perspective on money and lifestyle choices was completely transformed by her understanding of our financial sacrifice and the results of our disciplined approach to saving and investing, leading to her own commitment to financial responsibility and long-term planning. The wedding gift revelation also provided Jessica with a new understanding of the difference between spending money to impress others and investing money to build real wealth and security, lessons that would guide her financial decisions throughout her marriage and her future family planning. David's respect and appreciation for our family increased significantly after the wedding, with regular conversations about investment strategies and financial planning that reflected his desire to continue building the wealth that we had started and to apply similar principles to his own family's financial future. Jessica's career decisions after the wedding were influenced by her new financial security, allowing her to choose positions based on growth potential and personal satisfaction, rather than exclusively on immediate salary requirements, providing her with greater flexibility and career development opportunities. The investment accounts that we transferred to Jessica continued to grow under professional management, with regular contributions from Jessica and David as they applied our financial principles to their own earning and saving strategies, building on the foundation we had established during Jessica's childhood. Our own financial situation improved significantly after transferring Jessica's college fund to her control, as we were able to redirect our substantial monthly savings toward our own retirement planning and lifestyle improvements that we had postponed during the years when Jessica's future was our primary financial priority. Linda and I were finally able to upgrade our home and purchase new cars, improvements that we enjoyed not only for their practical benefits, but also as rewards for the successful completion of our long-term financial plan and our achievement of our goal to provide Jessica with substantial wealth and security. The story of Jessica's wedding gift became legendary in our community and among our friends and family members, serving as an inspiration and example of successful long-term financial planning and the rewards of prioritizing family financial security over immediate lifestyle gratification. Jessica's understanding of our sacrifice and her appreciation for our financial gift strengthened our family relationships and provided a foundation for ongoing conversations about financial responsibility, investment strategies, and the importance of thinking beyond immediate needs and desires when making financial decisions. The wedding revelation also taught Jessica important lessons about making assumptions about other people's financial situations and priorities, and the importance of understanding the full context behind family decisions before criticizing or expressing resentment about lifestyle choices that may serve purposes that aren't immediately apparent. Today, 3 years after the wedding, Jessica and David have purchased a beautiful home, started their own investment portfolio, and begun planning for their own children's financial future, applying the principles and strategies that Linda and I demonstrated through our years of disciplined saving and sacrifice. Jessica regularly expresses gratitude for our financial gift and our commitment to her future, and she has become an advocate for long-term financial planning and the importance of prioritizing wealth building over lifestyle displays and immediate gratification purchases. The $2 million college fund has continued to grow under Jessica's management, providing her with ongoing financial security and the resources to pursue additional education, start a business, or support her own children's future educational and financial needs. Our family's story has been shared with other families who are interested in long-term financial planning and wealth-building strategies, demonstrating that substantial wealth can be accumulated through consistent saving and investment discipline, rather than requiring high income levels or dramatic lifestyle sacrifices. Linda and I continue to enjoy our improved lifestyle while maintaining our commitment to financial responsibility and long-term planning, applying the same principles that built Jessica's wealth to our own retirement planning and our goals for leaving a financial legacy for future generations. The lessons learned from Jessica's wedding day revelation continue to influence our family's approach to money and financial decision-making, with ongoing conversations about investment strategies, wealth preservation, and the importance of understanding the difference between spending money and investing money for long-term security. Jessica's children, when they arrive, will benefit not only from the wealth that Linda and I accumulated during Jessica's childhood, but also from the financial knowledge and planning skills that Jessica learned through her experience with our long-term savings strategy and her understanding of the power of compound returns and disciplined investing. If you like this story, please like this video. Subscribe to the channel and share your impressions of this story in the comments. To listen to the next story, click on the box on the left.